CIET NCERT presents audiobook Kriti, Textbook of Arts for Grade 7.
Visual Arts, page number 152. On the top of the page are 5 images. The first image is of a painting of cows grazing. The second image is of the letter Bh in Hindi language. The third image is a painting of a woman. The fourth image is of a woman doing embroidery. The fifth image is of clay art. On the left side of the page is an image of a painting depicting a mythological scene, given celestial beings, deities, flowing river, and a waterfall. On the right side of the page, there is a manuscript that reads Kalanam Pravaram Chitram Dharma Kamarth Mokshadam Mangalyam Paramam Haye Tada Grihe Yatra Pratishtitam. Among the arts, painting is the foremost. It bestows dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Wherever it is established, it brings auspiciousness. Chitra Sutra from Vishnu Dharmottara Purana, Chapter 43, Shloka 38. Page number 153. Given at the top of the page is a painting of Worli art. Note to the teachers. Dear teacher, let us take our students deeper into the fascinating world of visual arts, ideas, and communication. In this grade, the focus is on broadening their exposure to visual art processes and traditions while honing their skills and techniques. It is important that you read every chapter carefully. You can modify the activities to suit your local context and the specific needs of your students. To create the best learning experience for every student, consider the following points. The visual arts classroom requires: point number 1, ample space for students to work comfortably. Point number 2, sufficient light and ventilation. Point number 3, organized storage and easy access to art materials, tools, basic stationery, and audio-visual facilities. Point number 4, space for showcasing and exhibiting artwork periodically. Visual arts pedagogy would need to: point number 1, use storytelling and everyday examples to introduce concepts and processes. Point number 2, encourage students to freely express their original ideas, imaginations, emotions, and curiosities in their artwork. Point number 3, encourage students to create original artwork inspired by their observations of everyday life and experiences rather than copying images from other sources. Point number 4, allow students to explore, investigate, experiment, collaborate, and have dialogues in the classroom. Point number 5, include outdoor activities and field trips to explore and observe the life and culture around them. Point number 6, organize visits to museums, heritage monuments, and melas. Point number 7, invite local artists and craftspeople for interactive sessions, workshops for hands-on experience. Point number 8, inculcate simple habits of cleaning up after working, putting back used materials, and maintain art materials with care. Point number 9, encourage students' participation and decision-making in selecting artwork for classroom display or exhibitions. Given at the bottom of the page is an image of Worli art. Page number 154. At the top of the page is an image of Worli art. Visual arts assessment should be based on the following competencies for the middle stage. C-1.1 expresses confidently their personal and everyday life experiences through various visual art forms. C-1.2 demonstrates flexibility in the process of collaboratively developing visual arts practice. C-2.1 creates visual artwork based on situations or stories that challenge stereotypes observed in their surroundings, such as gender roles. C-2.2 connects visual imagery, symbols, and visual metaphors with personal experiences, emotions, and imaginations. C-3.1 demonstrates care and makes informed choices while using various materials, tools, and techniques in the visual arts. C-3.2 refines ideas and techniques of visual expression from the stage of planning to the final presentation and reviews the entire process. C-4.1 demonstrates familiarity with various local and regional forms of art. C-4.2 describes the life and work of a few local artists in their region and across India. Given at the bottom of the page is a table with 5 columns. Learning outcomes that can be assessed across chapters. Column number 1, CG. Column number 2, C. Column number 3, learning outcomes. Column number 4, teacher. Column number 5, self. Column number 1, CG1. Column number 2, C1.1. Column number 3, learning outcomes. Exhibits artworks and confidently shares ideas, feelings, and processes. Column number 4, teacher, blank box. Column number 5, self, blank box. Column number 1, CG1. Column number 2, C1.2. Column number 3, learning outcomes. Tries new ideas and takes suggestions while collaborating with each other. Column number 4, teacher, blank box. Column number 5, self, blank box. Column number 1, CG3. Column number 2, C3.1. Column number 3, learning outcomes. Carefully uses, cleans and stores art materials in an organized way. Column number 4, teacher, blank box. Column number 5, self, blank box. Column number 1, CG4. Column number 2, C4.1. Column number 3, learning outcomes. Discusses the scale, appearance, materials, and themes seen in artwork. Example, sculptures or paintings seen in local art forms and heritage monuments. Column number 4, teacher, blank box. Column number 5, self, blank box. Column number 1, CG4. Column number 2, C4.2. Column number 3, learning outcomes. Uses art terminology while discussing or writing about artwork. Column number 4, teacher, blank box. Column number 5, self, blank box. Column number 1, CG4. Column number 2, C4.2. Column number 3, learning outcomes. Inquires about the work and socio-economic conditions of local artists. Column number 4, teacher, blank box. Column number 5, self, blank box. At the bottom of the page is an image of Worli art. Chapter number 15, Objects in Icons and Symbols. Page number 155. On the right side of the page is a QR code When you scan the QR code, you will be able to get additional resources for the chapter. Visuals help us communicate with one another. Examine the visuals on this page. Each one gives you information quickly and directly. Such visuals are called icons. An icon is a simplified visual representation of an object, place, or idea. Icons do not show too many details. For example, a mobile phone display has icons depicting the clock, remaining battery charge, network connections, applications, and so on. Below are a few other icons that you come across regularly. Given are 8 images of different icons. Image number 1, icon of a fuel station. Image number 2, icon of messaging. Image number 3, icon of railroad tracks. Image number 4, icon of telephone. Image number 5, icon of a hospital. Image number 6, icon of a specially abled person. Image number 7, icon of a dustbin. Image number 8, icon of email. In this chapter, you will learn how objects can be represented as icons and symbols to convey information. You will explore how these visual elements are used in logos, signages, and even as emojis while texting. Through various activities, you will practice drawing objects to make them appear two-dimensional or three-dimensional and learn to convert them into icons. You will also explore how objects take on other meanings when used as symbols. On the right side is a table with 4 images. Notice how the details in these objects have been removed to create icons. Image number 1 is that of a spoon and fork. The background is white in color and the spoon and fork are also in white color. Image number 2 is that of a spoon and fork. In this image, the background is white. The color of the spoon and fork are black. Image number 3 is that of a clock displaying 5 AM or PM with numbers on the clock. Image number 4 is that of a clock but without the numbers. Page 156. Activity 15.1 Understanding Simple Icons. The 2 icons of the fork and spoon. The positive space depicts the objects. The negative space is the blank space. Thus, black is positive in one image and negative in the other. Observe the positive and negative spaces in the other icons. Icons generally have a lot of negative space. This helps the main object to be visible even in very small sizes. Given are 4 images. Image number 1 is that of a spoon and a fork colored in black color. The background is yellow. The positive space is the black color of the spoon and the fork, and the negative space is the yellow background. Image number 2 is that of a spoon and a fork. The spoon and the fork are colored in yellow color, and the background is black. The positive space is the yellow color of the spoon and the fork. The negative space is the black background. Image number 3 is that of a hand. The hand is colored in black color and the background of the image is yellow in color. The positive space is the black color of the hand and the negative space is the yellow background. Image number 4 is that of a hand. The positive space is the yellow color of the hand and the negative space is the black background. Given on the right side of the page are 8 images. Image number 1 is that of an apple. The apple is colored in black with a yellow background. The black colored apple is the positive space and the yellow background is the negative space. Image number 2 is that of an apple in yellow color. The background is black. The positive space is the yellow color apple and the negative space is the black background. Image number 3 is that of a hut. The hut is colored in black and the background is yellow. The black colored hut is the positive space and the yellow background is the negative space. Image number 4 is that of a hut in yellow color with a black background. The positive space is the yellow hut and the negative space is the black background. Image number 5 is that of a bird colored in black color. The background is yellow. The black colored bird is the positive space and the yellow background is the negative space. Image number 6 is that of a bird colored in yellow with a black background. The positive space is the yellow bird and the negative space is the black background. Image number 7 is that of a tree in black color with a yellow background. The positive space is the black tree and the negative space is the yellow background. Image number 8 is that of a tree in yellow color with a black background. The positive space is the yellow tree and the negative space is the black background. Page 157. Create stencils from the objects. Materials: old newspapers or magazines, scissors, plain A4 paper, pencil and eraser. Given are 6 images. Image number 1 is of a key with a key chain. Step 1. Through the old newspapers or magazines and identify 2 or 3 objects that are completely and clearly visible. Image number 2 is that of a key in the keychain. The key is highlighted or outlined. Step number 2. Now, carefully highlight the outline of this object. Image number 3 is that cutout of the key. Step number 3. Choose an object and cut out the section containing it. Image number 4 is of drawing an outline of the key. Step number 4. Cut the object along the outline. This is called a stencil. Image number 5. The image is given stencil of the key. Step number 5. On a sheet of paper, use the stencil to draw the object. Image number 6. The image is given the key colored in black color. Step number 6. Color within the outline and notice the positive and negative space thus created. Ask to your friends to identify the object. Repeat stenciling with other objects. Can your friends identify the object from the shape created by the stencil? Page 158. Activity 15.2. Drawing one object in different ways. Given top of the page is an image of a musical instrument made by a student. An object can be drawn using different techniques to create 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional forms. The examples are given here. Contour of the object. Point number 1. This is an outline. Point number 2. Looks transparent. Point number 3. Object looks 2-dimensional. Given is the image of a musical instrument in a contour. Silhouette of the object. Point number 1. This is a colored flat shape. Point number 2. Looks opaque. Point number 3. Object seems two-dimensional. Given is the image of the silhouette of the object. Shading the object. Point number 1. Captures light and shade through tonal variations using techniques like cross-hatching and stippling. Point number 2. Object seems like three-dimensional. Given are two images. Image number 1 is of cross-hatching and image number 2 is of stippling. Icon of the object. Point number 1. Simplified image with essential details. Point number 2. Object seems two-dimensional. Given is the image of the icon of the object. Choose an object and get ready to draw it. Materials: 5 sheets of A5 size, half of A4 paper, sharpened pencil, eraser, colors and pen. Page number 159. Make a contour of an object of your choice. Take an A5 paper and a pencil. Step 1. Observe and measure. Point number 1. Keep the object at more than 2 to 3 feet distance. Point number 2. Closely observe the shape and size of the object. Point number 3. Use your pencil as a measuring tool as demonstrated. Point number 4. Place your thumb on the pencil. Align it with the object to measure its parts. Point number 5. Measure and mark the proportions of the object on your paper. Step 2. Draw the contour. Point number 1. Keep observing the object as you draw each part till you complete its contour. Note to the teacher. Point number 1. Each student should individually choose an object to draw. Point number 2. Ensure that they use the same object for each artwork in this activity. Given are 3 images at the bottom of the page. Image number 1 seems a boy measuring a triangle from a distance of 2 to 3 feet. Image number 2 seems a pencil in the hand of the boy used for measuring the object. Image number 3 is the contour of the triangle drawn on the paper. Page number 160. Make a silhouette of your object. Given is an image of a silhouette of the musical instrument. Take an A5 paper and a pencil. Point number 1. Draw the contour of the same object again or trace it from the first contour drawing. Point number 2. Color inside the contour to make it look flat. Point number 3. Use a different color to fill the negative space around the object. Optional. On another A5 sheet, make an inverse image of the silhouette by switching the colors of the positive and negative spaces. Given are 2 images. The first image is of cross-hatching of the musical instrument. The second image is of stippling of the musical instrument. Shading your object. Draw your object and make it appear three-dimensional using these 2 shading techniques. Point number 1. Cross-hatching is a shading technique that uses criss-cross lines. Closely overlap lines in different directions to create darker tones. Loosely overlap lines to create lighter tones. Following the image of cross-hatching is the image of stippling. Point number 2. Stippling is a shading technique that uses dots. Place the dots close to one another to create darker tones. Increase the space between dots to create lighter tones. Page number 161. Use a separate sheet of A5 paper for each technique. Step 1. Take the same object you choose for making a silhouette and place it in front of you. Step number 2. Observe and draw its contour. Step number 3. Observe how light falls on the object. Step number 4. Create light and dark tones using cross-hatching technique. Step number 5. Complete your work and keep it aside. Step number 6. Take another A5 paper and draw the contour of the object. Step number 7. Create light and dark tones using stippling. Make an icon of your object. Gather your drawings, the contour, silhouettes, cross-hatching and stippling. Which of these will you use to make an icon? Remember that an icon is a simplified image, but it also needs to be identified quickly. It should therefore contain clear shapes and have only important details. Sometimes, the silhouette of the object can be the icon. Make your icon on an A5 sheet and complete it with color. It takes practice and keen observation to be able to make good icons. If you had to use your icon to communicate information, what would it be? Given is the image of an icon of a musical instrument. Page number 162. Activity 15.3. Icons for signages. Signage informs us where a space is and what it is used for. In this activity, you will create signages using icons of objects for your school. Step number 1. Choose a space in your school such as the entrance, washrooms, play area, a space for eating meals, library, a space to keep your bags, shoes, and so on. Step number 2. Make a list of the objects that come to your mind when you think of this space. Step number 3. Choose the most important object in the space. For example, the door in an exit signage signifies its importance. If you have chosen 2 objects, try different ways of combining them to create one icon. For example, signage for a dining area can have a spoon and a fork. Signage for an art room can have a palette and a brush. Step number 4. Remember that an icon is a simplified drawing that represents the object. Point number 1. Experiment with contour and silhouettes. Point number 2. Add only those details that characterize the object. Use only one color. Step number 5. Create the icon in 2 or more ways. Step number 6. Choose the icon that expresses your purpose best and can be used as a signage for the chosen space. Create this icon on an A5 sheet. Show the signage to your friends and ask them what they think about it. Given is an image of a woman sitting next to a table with 4 signages of a leaking tap. Note: think of the objects that you use regularly while creating icons. For example, you may not use a fork and spoon when you eat. So can you think of alternative icons to represent your food? Page number 163. Activity 15.4. Objects as symbols. You have seen that images of objects are created for various purposes. These could be signages for spaces or icons in your surroundings. Objects also become symbols. Symbols have a deeper meaning and represent ideas or emotions. They may not directly relate to the visual they represent. The Dharma Chakra forms the center of our national flag. It is a navy blue wheel with 24 spokes. It is a depiction of the wheel of the law, taken from the lion capital of Sarnath, made in the 3rd century BCE by the Mauryan Emperor Ashoka. Point number 1. Blue represents the sky and ocean. Point number 2. Wheel represents progress. Point number 3. The spokes represent 24 hours of the day. Given on the left side of the page is an image of the Dharma Chakra, which forms the center of our national flag. The symbol of the round spectacles in this logo of Swachhata Abhiyan represents Mahatma Gandhi. The bridge of the spectacles is the national tricolour. It signifies the entire nation uniting to achieve the vision of Mahatma Gandhi for a clean India. Everyday objects like spectacles and a wheel. These become powerful symbols when their meaning is accepted to represent larger ideas. Can you think of other objects that are used as symbols? Look at the logos of companies, institutions, and political parties where you see objects used as symbols. What meanings do they symbolize? Given on the right side of the page is the logo of Swachhata Abhiyan. Ek kadam Swachhata ki or. Given is a box at the bottom of the page. Is there a difference between icons and symbols? Remember that symbols have a deeper meaning. Icons can also be symbols if they are given more meanings. Symbols need not resemble what they stand for. For examples, Indians can associate round spectacles with Mahatma Gandhi, his values and work. People who cannot make that connection may simply see it as a pair of spectacles. Page number 164. Match the illustrations with the terminology. Given are 7 terms and 7 images. Terminology 1. Silhouette. Terminology 2. Stencil. Terminology 3. Cross-hatching. Terminology 4. Stippling. Terminology 5. Icon. Terminology number 6. Signage. Terminology number 7. Symbol. The 7 images. Image number 1. Speaker. Image number 2. Fire. Image number 3. A dog and a cat in black color. Image number 4. Sign of no or do not touch. Image number 5. A geometrical design that resembles a mandala cross stitch pattern in blue and white color. Image number 6. Criss-cross lines drawn with a pencil. Image number 7. Dots drawn with a pencil. Peer assessment. Look at the signages created by your peers. Write a few lines on these points. Point number 1. Are there any icons in the signage? Describe them. Fill in the blanks. Point number 2. Is the information on the signage clear and easy to understand? Fill in the blanks. Point number 3. What 2 qualities did you like about the signage? Fill in the blanks. Point number 4. What do you think can be improved in its design? Fill in the blanks. Page number 165. Assessment. Chapter 15. Objects in icons and symbols. Given is a table with 5 columns. Column number 1. CG. Column number 2. C. Column number 3. Learning outcomes. Column number 4. Teacher. Column number 5. Self. Column number 1. CG 1. Column number 2. C 1.1. Column number 3. Learning outcomes. Observes objects carefully and tries to draw them exactly like they look. Column number 4. Teacher blank box. Column number 5. Self blank box. Column number 1. CG 2. Column number 2. C 2.2. Column number 3. Learning outcomes. Creates own icons that depict familiar objects. Column number 4. Teacher blank box. Column number 5. Self blank box. Column number 1. CG 2. Column number 2. C 2.2. Column number 3. Learning outcomes. describes the meanings conveyed by familiar icons, symbols, and logos. Column number 4, teacher, blank box. Column number 5, self, blank box. Column number 1, CG3. Column number 2, C 3.1. Column number 3, learning outcomes. Identifies the positive and negative spaces in icons and symbols. Column number 4, teacher, blank box. Column number 5, self, blank box. Column number 1, CG3. Column number 2, C 3.1. Column number 3, learning outcomes. Applies various rendering techniques to show light, shade, and shadows in an artwork. Column number 4, teacher, blank box. Column number 5, self, blank box. Column number 1, CG3. Column number 2, C 3.2. Column number 3, learning outcomes. Designs, creates, and displays own signages. Column number 4, teacher, blank box. Column number 5, self, blank box. Teacher's comments and students' observations fill in the blanks. Chapter 15 ends here.
Kriti, you were just listening to this audiobook, Textbook of Arts for Grade 7. Narration, Richa Jain. Sound recordist, Muhammad Faizan Khan. Assistance in production, Muhammad Faizan Khan. Directed and produced by Vimlesh Chaudhary. This audiobook is brought to you by CIET NCERT, New Delhi, India.